On CBBC One, starting us off in a world of imagination, is Jackanory Jr.
This is Jackanory. Hello, I'm Lenny. This is a story by one of the world's most famous authors, Roald Dahl. It's about a nasty, enormous crocodile. In the biggest, brownest, muddiest river in Africa, two crocodiles lay with their heads just above the water. One of the crocodiles was enormous. The other was not so big. "Do you know what I'd like for my lunch today?" the enormous crocodile asked. "No," the not-so-big one said. "What?" The enormous crocodile grinned, showing hundreds of sharp white teeth. "I would like a nice, juicy little child." "I never eat children," the not-so-big one said. "Only fish." "Ho, ho, ho," cried the enormous crocodile. "I'll bet if you saw a fat, juicy little child paddling in the water over there at this very moment, you'd gulp him up in one gulp." "No, I wouldn't," the not-so-big one said. "Children are tough and chewy and nasty and bitter." "Children are bigger than fish," said the enormous crocodile. "You get bigger helpings." "You are greedy," the not-so-big one said. "You're the greediest croc on the whole river." "I'm the bravest croc on the whole river," said the enormous crocodile. "I'm the only one who dares to leave the water to look for little children to eat." "You've only done that once," snorted the not-so-big one. "And what happened then? They all saw you coming and ran away." The enormous crocodile grinned again, and his terrible sharp teeth sparkled like knives in the sun. "Nobody will see me," he said, "because this time I've thought up secret plans and clever tricks." "Clever tricks?" said the not-so-big one. "You have never done anything clever in your life. You're the stupidest croc on the whole river." "I'm the cleverest croc on the whole river," the enormous crocodile answered. "For my lunch today, I shall feast upon a fat, juicy little child while you lie in the river feeling hungry. Goodbye." The enormous crocodile swam to the side of the river and crawled out of the water. A gigantic creature was standing in the slimy, oozy mud on the riverbank. It was Humpy Rumpy, the hippopotamus. "Hello, hello," said Humpy Rumpy. "Where on earth are you off to at this time of the day?" "I have secret plans and clever tricks," said the crocodile. "Oh dear," said Humpy Rumpy. "I'll bet you're going to do something horrid." The enormous crocodile grinned and said, "I'm going to fill my hungry, empty tummy with something yummy, 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 yummy." "What's so yummy?" asked Humpy Rumpy. "It's something that walks on two legs." "You don't mean," said Humpy Rumpy, "you don't really mean you're going to eat a little child?" "Of course I am," said the crocodile. "Oh, you horrid, greedy, grumptious brute," cried Humpy Rumpy. "I hope you get caught and cooked and turned into crocodile soup." The enormous crocodile laughed out loud at Humpy Rumpy. Then he waddled off into the jungle. Inside the jungle, he met Trunky the elephant. Trunky was nibbling leaves from the top of a tall tree, and he didn't notice the crocodile at first, so the crocodile bit him on the leg. "Ow!" said Trunky in his big, deep voice. "Who did that?" "Oh, it's you, is it, you beastly crocodile? Why don't you go back to the big, brown, muddy river where you belong?" "I have secret plans and clever tricks," said the crocodile. "You mean you have nasty plans and nasty tricks?" said Trunky. The enormous crocodile grinned up at Trunky and said, "I'm off to find a yummy child for lunch. Keep listening and you'll hear the bones go crunch." "Oh, you wicked, beastly beast," cried Trunky. "Oh, you foul and filthy fiend. I hope you get squashed and squished and squizzled and boiled up into crocodile stew." The enormous crocodile laughed out loud and disappeared into the thick jungle. A bit further on, he met Mugglewump the monkey. "Hello, Crocky," said the Mugglewump. "What are you up to now?" "I have secret plans and clever tricks," said the crocodile. "Would you like some nuts?" asked the Mugglewump. "I have better things to eat than nuts," sniffed the crocodile. "The sort of things that I'm going to eat have fingers, toenails, arms and legs and feet." Mugglewump went pale. You aren't really going to gobble up a little child, are you? He said. Of course I am, said the crocodile, clothes and all. Oh, you horrid hoggish croc, cried the muggle-wump. I hope the buttons and buckles will stick in your throat and choke you to death. The crocodile grinned. I eat monkeys too. And quick as a flash, with one bite of his huge jaws, he bit through the tree that Muggle-wump was sitting in. But just in time, Muggle-wump jumped into the next tree and swung away through the branches. A bit further on, the enormous crocodile met the roly-poly bird. Hello there, enormous crocodile, said the roly-poly bird. We don't often see you up here in the jungle. Ah, said the crocodile, I have secret plans and clever tricks. I hope it's not something nasty, sang the roly-poly bird. Nasty, cried the crocodile. Of course it's not nasty. It's delicious. It's luscious, it's super, it's muscious, it's duper, it's better than rotten old fish. You mash it, you munch it, you chew it, you scrunch it. It's lovely to hear it go squish. It must be berries, sang the roly-poly bird. The enormous crocodile laughed so much his teeth rattled together like pennies in a money box. Crocodiles don't eat berries, he said. We eat little boys and girls, and sometimes we eat roly-poly birds as well. Very quickly, the crocodile snapped his jaws at the roly-poly bird. The roly-poly bird gave a shriek of terror and shot straight up in the air. At last, the enormous crocodile came out of the other side of the jungle into the sunshine. He could see the town not far away. Ho, ho, he said, talking aloud to himself. One child isn't going to be nearly enough for me today. I won't be full up until I've eaten at least 3 juicy little children. The enormous crocodile crept over to a place where there were lots of coconut trees. He knew that children from the town often came here looking for coconuts. The enormous crocodile quickly collected all the coconuts that were lying on the ground. He also gathered together several fallen branches. Now for clever trick number 1. He took all the coconut branches and held them between his teeth. He grasped the coconuts in his front paws. Then he stood straight up in the air, balancing himself on his tail. He now looked exactly like a small coconut tree. Soon, 2 children came along. The boy was called Toto. His sister was called Mary. They walked around looking for fallen coconuts, but they couldn't find any. Oh, look, cried Toto. That tree over there is much smaller than the others, and it's full of coconuts. I think I could climb that one quite easily if you help me up the first bit. The enormous crocodile peered through the branches, watching them as they came closer and closer. He licked his lips. He began to dribble with excitement. Suddenly there was a tremendous whooshing noise. It was Humpy Rumpy. Look out, Toto, shouted Humpy Rumpy. Look out, Mary. That's not a coconut tree. It's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you up. Humpy Rumpy charged straight at the enormous crocodile. Owie! Cried the crocodile. Help! Stop! Where am I? Toto and Mary ran back to the town as fast as they could. But crocodiles are tough. It's difficult for even a hippopotamus to hurt them. The enormous crocodile picked himself up and crept towards the place where the children's playground was. Now for clever trick number 2, he said to himself. This one is certain to work. The enormous crocodile found a large piece of wood and placed it in the middle of the playground. Then he lay across the piece of wood and tucked in his feet so that it looked exactly like a seesaw. When school was over, the children all came running onto the playground. Oh, look, they cried, we've got a new seesaw. Then one girl said, it's a rather funny, knobbly sort of seesaw, isn't it? Do you think it'll be safe to sit on? Of course it will, the other said. It looks as strong as anything. The enormous crocodile opened one eye just a tiny bit and watched the children. Soon, he thought, one of them is going to sit on my head, and then I will give a jerk and a snap, and after that it will be yum, yum, yum. At that moment there was a flash of brown and something jumped into the playground. It was Muggle-wump the monkey. Run! Muggle-wump shouted to the children. Run! That's not a seesaw, it's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you up! The children screamed and ran for their lives. The enormous crocodile was left all alone in the playground. He cursed the monkey and waddled back into the bushes to hide. I'm getting hungrier and hungrier, he said. I shall have to eat at least 4 children now before I'm full up. The enormous crocodile came to a place where they were getting ready to have a fair. There were slides and swings and dodgem cars. There was also a big roundabout. The roundabout had marvellous wooden creatures for the children to ride on. Horses, lions, tigers, mermaids and fearsome dragons. Now for clever trick number 3, said the enormous crocodile, licking his lips. He crept up onto the roundabout and put himself between a wooden lion and a fearsome dragon. He sat up a bit on his back legs and he kept very still. Soon all sorts of children came flocking into the fair. They were very excited. "I'm going to ride on a dragon," cried one. "I'm going on a lovely white horse," cried another. And one little girl, whose name was Jill, said, "I'm going to ride on that funny old wooden crocodile." The enormous crocodile kept very, very still. Yummy, yum, yum, he thought. I'll gulp her up easily in one gulp. Suddenly there was a swish and a swoosh, and something came swooshing and swooshing out of the sky. It was the roly-poly bird. He flew round and round the roundabout, singing, "That's not a wooden crocodile, it's a real one. It's the enormous crocodile from the river, and he wants to eat you up." Jill turned and ran. So did all the other children. The enormous crocodile cursed the roly-poly bird and waddled back into the bushes to hide. "I'm so hungry now," he said to himself. "I could eat 6 children before I'm full up." Just outside the town, there was a pretty little field called the picnic place. There were several wooden tables and long benches. The enormous crocodile crept over. There was no one in sight. "Now for clever trick number 4, he whispered to himself. He picked a lovely bunch of flowers and arranged it on one of the tables. From the same table, he took away one of the benches. Then he put himself in the place where the bench had been. By tucking his head under his chest and by twisting his tail out of sight, he made himself look very much like a wooden bench. Soon, 2 boys and 2 girls came along carrying baskets of food. "Which table shall we sit at?" said one. The enormous crocodile kept as quiet as a mouse. "I shall eat them all," he said to himself. "They will come and sit on my back, and I will swizzle my head around quickly, and after that it'll be squish, crunch, gulp." Suddenly a big deep voice from the jungle shouted, "Stand back, children, stand back." The children stopped and stared. Then with a crashing of branches, Trunky the elephant came rushing out of the jungle. "That's not a bench," he bellowed. "It's the enormous crocodile, and he wants to eat you all up." Trunky trotted over to the spot where the enormous crocodile was standing and, quick as a flash, wrapped his trunk around the crocodile's tail and hoisted him up into the air. "Hey, let me go," yelled the enormous crocodile. "Let me go." "No," said Trunky, "I will not let you go. We've all had quite enough of your clever little tricks." Trunky began to swing the crocodile round and round in the air. Faster and faster still. Suddenly, Trunky let go of the crocodile's tail, and the crocodile went shooting high up into the sky like a huge green rocket. Up and up he went, higher and higher, faster and faster. He was going so fast and so high that soon the earth was just a tiny dot miles below. He whizzed on and on. He whizzed far into space. He whizzed past the moon. He whizzed past stars and planets until at last, with the most tremendous bang, the enormous crocodile crashed headfirst into the hot, hot sun, and he was sizzled up like a sausage. And that was the end of the enormous crocodile. Bye for now.
Boys and girls, jailmates and jailbirds, please welcome to CBBC, the Governor!
Yes, hello, thank you. It's no good. I can't go on. I'm really upset. Oh, yes. You see, the reason is, boys and girls, jailers and jailbirds, I've lost my joke book. Yes, from the slammer. I was coming from the slammer here to CBBC, and I've left my joke book on the train. It's awful. What am I going to do? I've got an idea. Yes. You could send me your jokes here to CBBC, and then we could fill up my joke book again. Jokes like, what do you call a judge with no fingers? Just his thumbs. Hey! I don't want to come off. Send me your jokes right now to cbbc@bbc.co.uk and we'll read them out here on BBC One. Oh, the Cramp Twins are coming soon. They like jokes as well. No,